I'm curious to hear if you have any just like kind of general like email tips that apply across the board, like maybe the best subject line that you've ever had, like highest open rates, any just like gems that someone can just pick up and apply to their
Honestly, I would say the biggest takeaways I have, Doug, are be consistent. Like as simple and as stupid as that sounds, it's like
Mhm.
I've seen so many stores and consulted with so many. It's like the biggest thing that keeps people from getting results, no matter what they're selling. It could be e-com, a brand that's huge or a brand that's small, a creator, a, a business that sells like cloud hosting solutions to law firms. That's someone that we worked with years ago. But it's like at the end of the day, if you're consistent, it's just like creating opportunity in the inbox to get the open and the click for whatever thing. Just like what they're doing on TikTok. The more videos you put out, the more opportunity volume to get the impressions or the views to build the profile. It's the same thing, just applied a different way. That's the numbers aren't as big, but it doesn't matter. That like the outcome, you have a lot more control over the outcome. So
Right.
consistency, I think, is the most important thing. I think that a lot of like, I don't know, people like me, gurus, whatever, they always give people hot takes like this subject line or whatever. But honestly, I think it's bullshit because it doesn't apply to everyone. It's like one isolated thing, and then everyone listening is just going to latch onto that one thing, even though it's probably detrimental to their success. And so, in the least, just like whatever you commit to yourself, like I'm going to send once a week, just send once a week, and then wait 90 days, and you'll be amazed at what comes of just being consistent, just like they've done on the TikTok or Instagram so far. I know that's like not sexy, but that's like the God's
No.
honest truth.
Yeah, it's fair. Do you have a specific email autoresponder or like email software that you use?
I personally use Klaviyo. It's like the best of breed for ecom. I think it's the best tool, but it doesn't play as nicely with other platforms outside of ecom platforms like Shopify or BigCommerce or what have you. And so I would say for most people listening, ActiveCampaign, Drip,
Yep.
MailChimp is whatever. It's jack of all trades, master of none. But again, what I wouldn't worry about the best tool. The most important thing is just starting and being consistent. And as you grow, you can always change tools. That's easy. But don't let that. A lot of people like don't start because they're like, oh shit, I want to pick the fucking best thing. And there is
Yeah.
no best. Just like pick one and go.
Yeah. I started with Active Campaign. Haven't had any issues with it,
Now
and
you're on AC. You on AC still?
we're still rolling with Active
Yeah.
Campaign. Yeah. I've had no
ConvertKit is
problem.
dope. Like
Yeah.
they're all from a feature standpoint, they're all pretty much the same. Some are a little more expensive or have this feature, not that one, etc. But just if you one that you like, just pick it.
What's been your favorite email campaign that you've ever been a part of, or like kind of cool story that you've had in the email marketing world over the years?
Oh man, like I don't. It's just like I guess for me, the coolest thing is like there's so many non-believers where like email is like I always call it the redheaded stepchild of marketing on the internet, right? It's not sexy. It's like George Costanza, but it just like works. And so the like the most fulfilling thing for me is like when we're talking when we have a prospect and they're like a non-believer that email can do the things that we say it can do that I've seen it do a million times, and they're like fearful and reluctant or they have trepidation, and then we team up, and then 30 days later their wildest expectations have been exceeded just because they had so much opportunity, they just didn't see the matrix and didn't know how to extract it. And so for me, it's not like a single campaign. It's just like there's so many, just how the market views email as old and not sexy. Once we show them, it's just like that's the ultimate victory for me.
Do you think of SMS in a very similar way to email, or is it like a completely separate strategy?
On the SMS stuff, dude, I feel like I think it comes down to what's the underlying business and who's their avatar, right? So
Okay.
like if your avatar is boomers, they don't vibe with SMS really. They look at it as like it's like too intrusive for them.
Right.
They're not accustomed to receiving marketing messaging in that modality. So if you're like dealing with millennials, Gen Zers, or Gen Zers, I think they're more open to it. So you have a lot more leeway. So I think it comes down to who are you talking to first and foremost. What are you selling?